If I can have your attention here in the Media Center, we're joined now by NASCAR Sprint Cup Series points leader Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 2 Dodge, Miller Lite Dodge for Penske Racing. Brad takes a 20-point lead in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup into next week's finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. Brad, talk about where you're at right now in the points and how that makes you feel heading into Homestead Miami.
Well, certainly if you have the choice, you always want to be in the lead of the points, especially in the closing races. And so I'm thankful for that, but I also know that the troubles that they had are the same troubles that we could have next week. And so you try not to take anything for granted. You try to just focus on what lies ahead. And we got to do the best job we can at Homestead. So that's where my focus is.
We're going to open it up here for questions. Please state your name and affiliation. Let's get Lee here a mic, please.
I don't think your mic's working, Lee. I can hear you, but I'm just throwing that out there.
Do electronics too, huh?
Yeah.
Does that work? We up? Thanks. Lee Spencer, Fox Sports.
There you go.
Thank you. What went through your mind when you threaded the needle right there at the end when, I mean, there was just crazy stuff going in every direction?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I'd gotten this close and I was going to wreck and stop before the start-finish line. So I just hit the gas as hard as I could, thinking that I would just bounce off enough walls like a game of Pong to make it across the start-finish line. That would be it. And somehow the car straightened itself back out and I made it back around. So I don't even know what happened. I got to watch the replay of that.
We'll go to Lewis next, then over to Tom.
When did you learn about Jimmy's condition? Did Paul radio you?
Nobody told me. I didn't know until I drove by and he was on pit road, and I knew somebody had blown out a right front tire based on the marks on the wall and the damage, so I didn't know until I drove by and saw a black car on pit road and saw the right side tore up on it, and I put 2 and 2 together.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking I can't wait to hear all the conspiracy theories. That's what I was thinking, yeah. Because I'm sure, I don't know, maybe 5 years from now, if I end up winning this thing, there will be somebody who goes, remember Phoenix when such and such laid down thumbnail tacks and blew out Jimmy's tire? And that was what I was thinking. What conspiracy story is somebody kind of come up with? It might be Mohern. I don't know.
Yes, that's a good idea. I'll think about that, yeah.
But I was just trying to think what's the wildest one I could come up with. And then I thought, well, next thought was that could very easily be me. And, I better manage my car and my tires to make sure it's not.
Tom?
Tom Jensen, Speed.com. Congratulations on your run today. You seem unusually subdued for having this big a points lead. Would you be happier if you would have won the race and Johnson would have finished second or third? Or are you just...
Absolutely. I mean, I felt like we had a race-winning car, and I wanted to take the points lead by winning a race, not by relying on a failure. But sometimes that's not how the sport works. And you have to accept that. I'm more just disappointed in the quality of racing that we saw today. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, and I was ashamed to be a part of it.
Let's go to David next, then the Jenna, and then we'll go upstairs to the press box.
The follow-up on that, I mean, I think you were in the car and said something like, if I ever do anything like that, just come out here and slap me in the face or hit me in the head. I mean, what most offended you about what happened out there? But what happened before with Jimmy and with Jeff and his crew?
What offends me is the double standard that I spent a whole week being bashed by a half a dozen drivers about racing hard at Texas and how I'm out of control and have a death wish, and then I see bullshit like that. That's fucking bullshit. That's all you can call that. And these guys just tried to kill each other. You race hard, and I get called an asshole for racing hard and called with a death wish, and I see shit like that, and it just pisses me off. I'm not yelling at you, Dave, but it's just fucking ridiculous, and they should be ashamed.
Jenna?
Sorry, go ahead. I'm not yelling at you. I
I know.
That's embarrassing.
No, I know. I'm just I'm wondering where to go with this.
I would hope that Mike's probably in the hall saying the same thing. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh well, he was. I hope.
And I don't disagree with you, but I wanted to ask you about the end there. You got hit there at the end. you said, why do we have to kill why do we have to kill ourselves to get a good finish? What should have been done differently there?
Well, I mean, the retaliation is out of control in this sport. We've got a bunch of drivers that feel like they have to retaliate, or they're being challenged as a man, and that's ridiculous. It's not what this sport needs. I don't think it's good for anybody, and it's going to get somebody hurt. I've said before, we walk a line between chess players and daredevils, and we're not walking it very well. And I don't know why that is. I certainly don't blame NASCAR for that. They're not driving the cars. But it just drives me absolutely crazy that I get lambasted for racing somebody hard without even being a wreck, and then you see stuff like this, and that's okay. From the same people that criticize me, that's okay. It's okay to just take somebody out, but you race somebody hard, put a fender on somebody and try to go for the win, and you're an absolute villain, and that's ridiculous. But then we can just go out and retaliate against each other and come back in and smile about it, and it's fine. That's not what this sport needs. It needs hard racing. It needs people that go for broke, try to win races, and put it all out there on the line, not a bunch of people that have anger issues. That's not good for anybody. And it really hurt my feelings to be a part of a chase race for the championship and have that jeopardized from people that can't keep control of their emotions.
We're going to head upstairs to the press box.
Hang on. I think I'm not certain because of the crazy number, the sequence there, but I think at one point there was supposed to be 2 to go there, and you were told over the radio, expect the worst, or
yeah, it was something along those lines.
Something along those lines. As a driver, what are your instincts there? Are you because there was a couple times there where with Jimmy out of the race and in the garage, you probably shouldn't have been mixing it up. So there, with the way everything was going, what are your instincts there? Are you fading back? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, you're just trying not to be the cause. It's like running at Talladega. You can complain all you want about pack racing and being in a big wreck, but you don't have to cause it. And that's where I was at. I was just trying not to be the cause of my own undoing. You can't control whether it happens or not, and you certainly can't play defense in this sport because it will bite you. And I wasn't about to play defense, but I was just trying not to be the cause of my own demise.
Okay, let's head up to the press box for a couple questions.
Monty Dutton, Gaston is it. Brad, in fairness, I think you really ought to give us a chance to lambast what happened today. I'm just kidding. But what I wanted to ask you about was in the previous wreck, just the fact that as a race car driver, it had to be a little bit unusual when you come out and you're racing for position in a car that is much slower than everybody else. I mean, what I'm saying is you barely missed that wreck. You had to avoid it, but it's not the usual thing you come across when a guy's in the racing groove and wrecks the guy in front of you. I mean, was there anything panicky about coming along that? Because you can't. That doesn't happen every day.
No, I mean, I try really hard not to panic in the car. I didn't panic in that situation. I just put myself in a position where no matter how it went down, I was going to be okay. And thankfully, that's how it played out, to where I was okay. I'd been briefed, I guess, 2 laps prior that was going to happen, and so I was prepared.
Got one more question in the press box, and we're going to come back downstairs for a couple more.
Brad, Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. It's the last year, the last season was a Dodge, was a Chrysler Group. In case you will win the championship, the thing is a little bit bittersweet. Can you tell something about the emotion of Chrysler, the Fiat Group? What's their feelings now? Is there any talk? You win the championship, for example, and then they're gone. They're leaving the series.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they feel about it. I would hope that they'll come back as soon as possible, but I really haven't had those conversations. I would love to see that happen. I think it's important for the sport to have as many participating manufacturers as possible, especially one that fits the sport as Dodge does. So I don't have a good feel for their vibe on it, but I hope to see them back soon.
Okay, we're going to go to Dave here, and then to Joe, and then we've got one more question in the press box before we have to wrap up here with Brad. Go ahead, Dave.
Dave Coleman, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Brad, a lot of right front failures sending guys into the wall. I think after one of those, you guys took lefts. Any concern about right front failure?
Yeah, absolutely. I was concerned the whole race. And, it's funny you say it because in the back of my mind, we had a long run where I think I was chasing down the leaders. And, I thought to myself, well, we haven't seen any right front issues in a while, and I can probably push the car really hard here and not have to worry about it. And as soon as I said that to myself and ran about another 3 or 4 laps, that's when somebody would blow out a right front tire. So yes, certainly I was very concerned about it. I know Goodyear is as well. That's why we had the tire test here a couple weeks ago to try and be better for next year, and hopefully that'll be the answer.
There was no thought of using them now?
Oh, there's always a chance that things can go wrong. But it's my job to manage that. No problem, Dave.
Joe?
Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. Brad, I just want to clarify, was there anything that went on before the Gordon turn into Boyer thing that had angered you even before that, or was it all?
No, I mean, I think just the way the race finished was,
Just the fact that because this is a championship and you could have almost gotten caught up in it, that it shouldn't have any place in that.
Absolutely.
Is that really what,
yeah,
what
I mean,
it was?
I think we all have to have a certain level of respect for each other in order for this sport to put on the quality of show that our fans deserve. But we also have to have an inner passion and desire to win. And those two have to be balanced with each other. And they're here, and it's out of control.
Okay, we're going to one final question from the press box, and we'll be wrapping up with Brad. Go ahead, press box.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Brad, kind of following up on that balance, there'll probably be many fans who will say this was the best race of the year because of the fight in the garage and all that other stuff. Can you kind of comment on that a little bit about how that's, in a way, I understand where you're coming from, that what happened on the final lap is ridiculous, but on the other hand, it's that contact kind of breeds the emotion and action that drama people want to see, I guess.
Well, yeah, absolutely people want to see drama, but the best drama is the drama that is an influence to the performance and the result of the race for the lead. I think many people would say that one of the best races ever in NASCAR history would have been, a couple of them with Dale Sr. at Bristol in the late 90s and mid-90s. That's for a good reason, because it was a wreck and a fight for the win. Not for a retaliation for 6th place or whatever it might be. That's completely different.
Brad, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week in Homestead.
Very good. Thank you, guys.